Hello and welcome to the North American Guitars UK showroom. A really exciting talking guitar. We have a surprise visit from a new luthier of ours, Mr. Rye Bear. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Mate, it's really lovely to get you into the showroom. And this actually is the first, it's the second interview we've done. We did one yesterday, but it's the first luthier interview that we've done in the new digs.
Oh, cool.
So it's good to have you here. So tell me, we met at the Connor, didn't we? And ever since then we've been speaking on email and going back and forth. And I have to say that at the show, the instrument that I played of yours that you were, because you weren't exhibiting, you had a couple of guitars with you.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a beautiful sunny day. And we're outside, and there was a phenomenal player. I couldn't remember the name of the guy.
Trevor Hansen.
Trevor, who was, and you just went, I just want to hear. I want you to hear what Trevor can do with his guitar. And I remember all of us sat there, and I think it was with Sam Giltree.
Yeah.
We're all just kind of hovering around, and I kind of fell in love with your guitars there and then got some time to play that instrument, we went back and forth, and here we are with two guitars coming into the North American Guitar, and just really, really proud to be representing your work and to be the. I know you've got some stuff happening with a few other dealers, but we're the first dealer to have your guitars in a showroom. It's amazing. Yeah,
it's awesome. I'm stoked to be here.
When I say it was a flying visit, it literally is a flying visit. You're coming and seeing your family, and you're heading up for Christmas. Is that right?
Yeah. Spending Christmas with the family, and then I thought, I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to get the guitars done in time to bring them, but I thought I couldn't pass up the opportunity to hand deliver them.
It's amazing, amazing. So before we dive into what we've got and just how spectacular they are. I met your father a minute ago, and we had a good chat. And I didn't realise that you have been building guitars since you were 15.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable. And you come from sort of a woodworking family. Your father builds houses and boats, and you've been working with wood pretty much all your life.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I was old enough to hold the chisel and not cut myself.
Amazing. So from coming from that background, what was it that drew you to the guitar? Was it a music-based inspiration, or was it just fascination with the instrument?
It was probably a music-based beginning, because I started playing guitar when I was like 12 years old. And then I was just like infatuated with guitars, and I would spend hours and hours looking at guitars online. And then my dad said to me, he was like, the amount of time you spent looking at guitars, you could have made yourself one already. And I was like clicked. I was like, wow, he's right, I could have.
Amazing. And so you just so what was the? I kind of want to see what the first guitar was like.
The first guitar's not even finished.
Okay.
It was an electric guitar in a
of course.
Like an ES335 Gibson style.
Yeah.
And there was a guitar maker in the town that I'm from, and I knew nothing about him, but I knew he was a guitar maker. And so then I started bringing what I was doing to the guitar maker and saying, am I doing it right? And he was a concert classical guitar maker and violin maker in a contemporary Australian fashion, and then he offered me an apprenticeship right from there.
Amazing.
And I started working with him, and he was very much about the acoustics of classical and steel string and violin family instruments, and so right then and there I kind of dropped the electrics and went down the path of classical and steel string guitars.
Because you really, that's for me, that was the thing that immediately leaps out when playing your instruments, is you are playing a steel string guitar, but there are so many familiarities between a classical sounding guitar and yours. It's quite unbelievable. And is that sort of always been your foundation with regards to how you brace them and how you go about trying to get that sort of tonal palette.
Yeah, so like the way classical builders think about sound and the way steel string builders think about sound is two different, very, very different things. Like I find steel string builders are always chasing tone, whereas classical guitar makers, they're pushing the classical guitar to get sound qualities like volume, sustain, projection, clarity. And I wanted to take that sort of philosophy of pushing the physical sound quality to the steel string guitar to get more volume, sustain, projection, clarity, balance, and these sort of physical attributes of sound, and then let the wood choices and the body shapes and sizes to influence tone. And so I sort of strive to get those sound qualities in every guitar, and that's sort of more of a classical guitar thinking toward sound.
Yeah, the thing that really does jump out is the intonation on all of your instruments is absolutely exceptional, right the way up the fretboard. I remember that was the first thing that jumped out at me, and obviously the balance. But you have a particular bracing structure, don't you, that you use? You have those beautiful pictures on that you put up on social media, which I remember seeing the first one and being like, oh wow, I get it now, because obviously we spoke about it in Lacona, and when I saw that photo I was like, oh wow, okay, I really get it now. Yeah,
so that's it's called Falcate Bracing, and it's a laminated curved brace that I reinforce with carbon fibre above and below the brace. And it basically allows you to brace the top much lighter while still being structurally sound, and also you're able to place the stiffness right where you want it, right under the bridge, and then taper it away to nothing at the edges of the top. And you're basically just allowing the top to vibrate.
Move as much as it possibly can.
As much as it can.
Which again, that will obviously help vastly with the projection and the clarity that you're striving for. So shall we just dive in and you can sort of talk us through what you're bringing to the showroom? Let's jump in with this one first. So do you want to just grab it off the stand and we can sort of talk us through everything?
Yeah, so this one is looks a lot like maple, but it's not maple. It's Australian desert leopard wood, and it's much harder and heavier than maple. The weight of it is much more similar to an ebony or a heavy Brazilian rosewood, and the hardness, it's much harder than maple. And then the top is Engelmann spruce from the Rocky Mountains of Canada. And I love sort of alternative tone woods, and so I use a lot of Australian tone woods, and the fretboard on this guitar is Brigalow.
Oh wow, okay.
Brigalow is another Australian desert hardwood, and it's sort of similar to ebony in density, but it's a little bit harder and less sort of porous.
And how do you find that affects the tone to something like a standard?
It's very, very similar.
Right.
Very similar to a standard ebony fretboard. Yeah. Except for it has a little bit sort of harder wear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So looking at your fretting, you've got my very favourite hemispherical fretting, which is just absolutely beautiful. Very, very soft, actually. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, I love doing the hemispherical fret ends.
Yeah.
And I do them off of the fretboard and then install the fret onto the fretboard, which is a tricky way, but it just gets the fret end perfect.
I look forward to getting the photographs up on the website, but I can just say that standing here and playing this instrument, first of all, you do immediately, it's weird when you pick it up because you immediately think, I'm about to play a maple guitar. But when you do play it, the sort of the shimmer in the highs and the sustain that you would expect from something like an ebony or a rosewood is immediately there. So for the people that love the aesthetics of a maple guitar, but they want the sonic side of something like a Brazilian rosewood instrument, this is perfect. And the line as well to your guitars is absolutely beautiful. You have this sort of a very clean and simple but very elegant line to the guitar, which I think makes it stand out. Stand out a lot. And I couldn't help but notice you've got a Padauk bridge. Yeah. You're wearing it loud and proud, which is great. And proud. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah. Well, I choose the Padauk for low mass, high stiffness, and a high Q, so it transmits the vibration very efficiently. Mm-hmm. And the mass is around about 16 grams, which is almost half the mass of a traditional bridge. So it just just allows the top to move more freely. Constantly pushing volume, pumping air.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Turnstone and Rosie?
Yeah.
So she's obviously a huge fan of Padauk, and she uses them as her tantalons in her instrument.
Yeah.
So that's just. I'm a big fan of Padauk. Actually, we've got a lovely Costal Padauk.
I saw
that just up there.
Yeah, beautiful.
And it's one of those woods that doesn't get the love and attention that it deserves, because it can produce just some of the most sophisticated sonic instruments out there.
Totally. I haven't built a whole instrument with it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
I think that's going to have to happen. Okay, and I take it this is your sort of double O, is
This
that right?
is my double O.
Great, beautiful.
Yeah, it's sort of a little bit bigger than a traditional double O.
Just a slightly wider low bout.
A slightly wider lower bout. It's very similar to a classical guitar, but just with a smaller upper bout than a classical guitar.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, really, really, really beautiful. Okay, and then moving on to the, am I right saying the OM?
Yes.
Look at this. I mean, this is just absolutely exceptional.
Yeah, so this one has a salvaged Western red cedar top that I found this log on a beach, and I just had to go rent a chainsaw and cut some top billets out of it because it was just perfect.
So you found this?
I found this.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Padauk bridge again, and this has Macassar ebony fretboard and head plate. And Macassar ebony, I think, is just a really great wood. It's extremely stable for the ebony family.
Very, very dark.
And almost black as well.
Yeah. Amazing.
And then it's got stunning blackwood back and sides, and I just have this amazing supplier in Australia who gets me these Australian tone woods, and he processes the wood from the tree to the wood, and so you can just pick out the absolute best.
So you are knowing, again, just to reference our good friend Mr. Jason Costal, it is for luthiers, it is knowing the supplier, knowing, where that wood is coming from, and I think that if you have a great relationship there from the source to the instrument, it plays such a vital role into the quality that you're trying to produce every single time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he has that with his German spruce. He has this one guide, and the trees are grown in this guy's sort of back garden.
Yeah, it really helps to sort of have a good relationship with suppliers and stick with them, because when it comes to just voicing and sort of getting the sound that you want, it just pays to get some great consistency
all the way through. Yeah, this is a stunning set.
Gorgeous. I love the dark streaks in this blackwood. And then it has a Queensland maple neck, and Queensland maple has been used in the guitar building industry in Australia for over 80 years, and so it's sort of a tried and true neck material that is sort of, it almost looks like mahogany. If you didn't tell someone, they'd probably just think it was
I must say, my naivety there, I was looking at it and I was thinking, this is okay, so you've got a nice mahogany neck, but actually when you look at it in detail, you can just pick up the maple there. And so, again, same bracing structure.
Same. All of my steel string guitars have the Falcate brace tops, because it really just, for me, it works. It pushes the guitar in the direction that I want to go. in terms of volume, sustain, projection, and clarity and balance, and all of those attributes hold beautifully as you come up the neck. And then I can sort of play around with tonal color, with tone woods and top woods and those sorts of things. But yeah, all of them are falcate braced.
Amazing. I love the fact that you, may I?
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that you actually found the top on a beach. Where was the beach?
It was on Haida Gwaii, and Haida Gwaii is an archipelago off the coast of northern British Columbia, and it's like you go to the end of the world when you go there. You can't go any further off the coast of Canada, and you can literally see Alaska from the beaches of Haida Gwaii, and it's like going back in time almost.
Amazing.
And some of there's some beautiful Sitka spruce that comes from Haida Gwaii, and the trees, the old growth Sitka spruce trees, are just awe-inspiring. Like they're mind-blowing.
Well, I've seen actually when we had a chat on the phone, and you were walking with your son.
Yeah, my son in the forest.
And he was making some noises, and I was like, I take it you had him on a backpack on.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Yeah, as we were chatting, I let him run around and.
Great. And you're based in Vancouver.
In Vancouver, Canada.
Fantastic. Well, right. I have to say that it's always so exciting for us, especially when it's a surprise visit. I certainly didn't expect the guitars to arrive before the end of the year, and to go from that meeting to discussing the instruments to discussing representing you to actually hand delivering them, it just makes it all very special. So we're really proud to now be representing you as a luthier, and cannot wait to spend some time playing these instruments. I think I might have to be coming in between Christmas just on my own to have some time playing the guitars in the beautiful new showroom. So well, congratulations on these beautiful instruments, and we'll be getting them demoed, and they should be up on the website probably in January, because everybody's now breaking for Christmas.
Awesome, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see who you pick to play them.
Oh, yes. Well, we actually, funny enough, I was just talking to Will McNichol, and he might, and I think that he would...
I think so.
I think I just messaged him saying, you wouldn't be by any chance be free tomorrow, would you? And he was like, "Oh, I might be able to move some stuff around." Bearing in mind that it is Christmas in 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, great, very exciting. So, for more information on the finest luthier built instruments, then please do subscribe to this channel. But for more information on Rye and GR Bear guitars, then please don't hesitate to get in touch.